Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today on this fantastic Monday night? Let me save this very quickly. I am doing pretty well. I will not lie. I am not looking forward to the week ahead. But there is some stuff that I'm not going to talk about that is actually really exciting to me happening. I've got a lot on my plate right now. Holy crap, it's like an absurd amount. But there's also been a lot of good stuff happening. There's been a lot of interesting stuff that I want to, that I'm just sort of engaged in. Okay, so let's share a little bit of background as to like who I am as a person, like where I come from. Usually around the holiday times, especially like around now, past October, like late October is when it starts until like mid-January. I dissociate very hard with the holiday season. I do not care for it. I do not want it. But this is a little different. I'm actually feeling really good. And I feel like I'm actually like breaking a cycle of mine, and I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling actually like really good going into the holidays. I don't know what it is. It's just like something inside me, and I'm really excited. Usually I'll try and work my way through the holidays. I'll try and just pile on as much work as possible. To some extent, that's sort of what I'm doing now, but I will say it's from a different point of view. The point of view being, it's just I want to. Like, there's stuff that I want to do. Not me doing it because I want to fill the void, but me doing it because I want to and I have a passion for it. Which is sort of what leads into what we're going to be doing today. Today, we are going to be discussing, or we're going to be going over some tracks throughout the year that we have written. These are going to be for our final album release of the year, The Sound of Games Volume 4. This is something that we do every year, and frankly, it's one of my favorite things to do, because there's some really cool stuff that we do throughout the year that I just can't put into one album. Either for one reason or another, either it's just a singular track, or it's too small. Like, it's like a couple tracks, or it's like these things don't mash up together. So if you're not familiar, The Sound of Games is an annual thing that I do where I will collect all the tracks that I've written throughout the year that aren't associated with a specific project. I will tidy them up, I'll shine them, and then put them on all streaming platforms for people to listen to. Sometimes, or I guess the way that this started was because I had so many Game Jam tracks stacked up that I hadn't been able to use. And so ultimately what it came down to is, hey, I got all these tracks, I want to put them out. Let's go ahead and let's do like just a volumetric like release of these every year, where I will take I'll take a few soundtracks, put them together, and then push them out all as one. And this sort of a little secret note, I think I've shared this in the past, but it's like a very rare thing that I mention. Take a break, or not take a break. The Lost Discs was actually the first version of this. If you look back at The Lost Discs, it is pretty much what became The Sound of Games, just before I knew what I was doing with The Sound of Games. Like, I believe that album in particular has like Take Your Time. It has Electro something, I forget what it's called. It's like my electro pop like track. Inversion is what's called. Yeah, Inversion. And then like The Court from my game The Court Mess. And then like Minecraft reimagined like add-ons from like the previous, or not previous, from the next few updates. So there was a lot that went into that album in particular, but I wasn't too happy with how I promoted it and how I was going about it, because I didn't know how on earth I was going to keep it consistent. Well, now we know. It's The Sound of Games. And this will be the 4th year that we are doing it, and I am incredibly happy that we are able to do this and that we were able to just make an album of stuff, of my soundtracks that I really love. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the first project file. This is one that I have not touched in a long time, and I'll explain what it is and what it was for, because this is so interesting. Also, I said on Twitter, during the stream we would be actually naming songs live. This is one of them. I do not have... Whoa, hang on, what? That's interesting. I don't remember. Hang on, chat. I'm looking at something, just making sure that this is the way it is. Yeah, okay. Everything's good. This is one of the songs that I do not have a name for. So I'm willing to hear suggestions for it. I'm willing to get ideas from anyone in chat who's willing to name this track with me. But before we name it, let's go ahead and let's take a listen to it. And I'll explain what it is afterwards. Let's just start off by taking a listen to this really cool track that I made a while ago. Well, come on in, Apple. Naming songs sounds fun. It is. It really is fun. It's still not entirely mixed, I will say that. There will be some stuff that we're doing later today in terms of like mixing stuff and like going down the line, getting everything ready for release. I like this track so much. It's so good. So yeah, that's our song. For context of this piece, I wrote this because I was working on a video last December. Well, I guess throughout the entirety of last year, where I was building the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Pizzaplex from scratch in Minecraft on a survival world server, which was an absolutely insane project. And at the end of it, we ended up playing hide and seek in it, which was really fun. And to this day, still one of my favorite videos that I've made. So this was a custom song that I made for that video, which is why in the top left you can see it's titled Pizzaplex 1. Because I was planning on making, I think, 3 tracks. And as I was editing this, or as I was editing the video, it was already like December 3rd or something. And I finally hit this track. I wrote it in like 2 days. And I was like, oh, I do not have enough time to write 3 whole tracks for this. Not to mention, the video's like 40 minutes long. So I was like, how on earth am I going to write custom music for this whole thing? The idea was the whole video is going to be custom scored. But plans for that fell through. But we ended up with one really good song. So I'm really happy with this track in particular. It's very simple. But that's all that needs to be. I need my streak, but I am in bed, so I might pass out. Wish I wasn't sick. Aw, hope you feel better, Nian. While you're here, would you like to join in on helping us name this track? It's like a 80s synthwave type track. I'm trying to come up with a name for it. Thank you so much for the 3-stream streak. Holy crap. Names while I'm at these. I am too. This one's literally just titled Pizzaplex 1, so I'm trying to figure out what a good name would be for this. It's got to be something that, like, along the lines of... Okay, so hang on. Just for reference point, if I open up my Spotify, I have a whole playlist here that I've saved for... Whoa, didn't mean to do that. I got a whole synth vaporwave playlist, and I just, like... I love listening to this while I work. It's very... I was just hit in the face with 5 more ads. I don't know if I could help you, gamer. I am terribly sorry about that. I am so terribly sorry about that. But I like just looking through some of these names as well. Like Resonance by Odyssey. Holy crap, that's a great song. I love that one. Eclipse, Head First. Like, if I were to scroll down, I'd see, like, Orion Arm. Come Back Down. Time. Oh, funny reference. Heart. Dream Getaway. Echoes in Time. I think if I remember correctly, I worked on a song, and at the time of release, I was like, hey, I don't have a name for this. So I turned to my partner at the time, and I was like, hey, you got a name for this? She just said, Lover's Chaos sounds good. I was like, Lover's Chaos? She's like, yeah, I like the sound of it. I'm like, okay. So and that's how the naming convention of, name it Hamburger in honor of the first ad I got being Burger King. I don't know about hamburger. Let's try to knock our noggins together to find this one out. It's very synth wavy, like 80s retro style. Going back to the Spotify thing, what about cheeseburger? I don't know if I want a food in the title per se. We were looking at some names in like the synthwave vaporwave playlist that I have. It's a good one. I like it. We've got like Resonance. We got Space Echo. We got Phase, Heaven, Physical Moon. Sorry, giggling like an idiot. Giggling like an idiot over a song we named Cheeseburger. Nan, are you hungry? Be real with me. Have you eaten? Honestly, I feel like this is one of those songs where the name doesn't necessarily have to connect at all. But it would be nice. I haven't had dinner. I'm gonna be so for real. Yeah. I feel like you should have dinner before you pass out. Like, if I want to name this song, I could... Another naming convention that I've used in the past when it comes to projects like this. What about Zoning Out? Zoning Out's Zoning Out's a good name, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Or do you want to stick with one word? No, Zoning Out's actually really good. Silent Echoes is a random ass name I just thought of. You know, I would totally use that, Apple. Where is it? I actually lost it. I would totally use that, Apple, if I didn't already have that as a different song title. It's just... just right there, Silent Echoes. Okay, see, that's maybe why I thought of it. Yeah, that's part of Broken Mirrors already. We already went through that one. I knew it sounded familiar. It is unfortunately familiar. Yes, we have used that one here. Okay, but yeah, I do like the name of that. Dude, I'm too high to think right now, but remind me, I need to commission you for a song called Bonus Ducks. Wait, are you talking about for like Scream Fortress? Is that what that's for? That'd be an absolutely wild thing to write a song about bonus ducks. Yes. I'm so glad I caught on quickly. Bonish Dachs. I haven't played Scream Fortress 2 this year, and I'm really upset. I've just been way too busy to do anything. Anyway, let me listen to this very quickly because I want to start mixing it. I want to see like sort of where we are and where things are falling. You get rid of all this automation. I don't know why it's here. What is that emote? Hang on, I don't know what that emote is. Oh, it's the buy. Let me go ahead and drink to that in the end. Thank you for the hydrate, my friend. And if you are heading out, hopefully have a good night. I know being sick is not the greatest. Huh, well that's interesting. Do I want to know why that's there? Probably not. That's probably chopping out something really harsh. Let me see it right now. Yeah, I like the sound of that bass. It's soft, like, it's not too harsh, but it's still got a little bit of grit to it. I don't know if I like it as that loud. We're gonna need to bring it down. I see why it's on. Let's open it up a little bit more. Nice. Oh, that's a good song. I love the trail off. It's actually a really good trail off from this instrument in particular, I think. Ah, you love it. You love to see it. I want to extend this. Is this gonna happen? Nope, this is not gonna happen. Great. I'm gonna try and extend it out this way. It's probably not gonna be the greatest of all time, but hey, who's counting? Who's trying? Let's try that. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that just as is. The thing is, like, this song is pretty simplistic. There's not really a whole lot that it calls for. We've got the bass line, which is like really strong. We've got the chords. We've got the beat, which does like a little bit of a variation somewhere in there. We've got the melody, and then we've got like an arpeggiation on top of that, which it all pairs nicely together. And honestly, I really don't think we need to go over the top of this one. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna save this as is. I'm not gonna export it just yet because I feel like that's gonna lock it in. But we will go ahead and move on to our next project. Now that we spent a little bit of time on that, and we have a name for it, this one's gonna be called Zoning Out. which honestly fits pretty well with it. Considering I feel like this really does belong in one of those like synthwave vaporwave playlists. Perfect for zoning out, for working and like studying, something like that. The name just fits really well. Anyway, the next one we were loading up is one that we did at the beginning of the year. I believe this was the first concept art piece that we did at the in like early, I think it might have been mid January to early February. I think is the time frame that we did this one in. I shared this when it came out, or at least when we did it, and I've been working on it a bit over the weekend. But this track in particular is my favorite one, my favorite concept art piece of all time. So we'll wait for it to load. We'll wait for it to load, and then we will. I'll share it. I'll say exactly like what I'm thinking and like how it came to be. Because I feel like with this track in particular, man. All right. Actually, since we're waiting on this, it's gonna. I will not lie. It's gonna be a hot second. I'm gonna go through the list of everything that we currently have. And we're gonna sort of see where it goes from there. So we've got zoning out. We've got this one, which I'm currently calling just like the good old days. This one's already named. We've got a high energy track that we need to name. We've got an ominous track that we need to name. We've got Medusa from that time I composed for one of Jagger's roller coasters. We have a piece I'm calling an old friend. I don't know if that's the name that's going to take, but that's also there. We've got Wasteland Concept, which we did, I want to say a couple weeks ago. That one needs a name. And then we've got a Safe Feeling track. That's also going to need a name. So there's a lot of stuff here that hasn't been named yet, but needs a name. Let me go ahead and type some of these out. Just like the good old days. And then high energy track, ominous, Medusa is already named, an old friend is already named. Yeah, okay. So we've got like 4 tracks here that need names. This being one of them. So, or no, this one not being one of them. You've heard this before. It is a Western style piece. I am so proud of it. So I'm not gonna share a whole lot until after. Let's listen to this. 'Cause holy crap. Random names I thought of in general: Hazy Sleeplessness, Pulse of Sentiment, Horizons of Ambience, and Blurry Reflections. Blurry Reflections, I might save for a different project, Apple. That one sounds like it can go somewhere. Maybe Pulse of Sentiment, too. I'm gonna write those 2 down, because I really like those names. Still a Pulse of Sentiment? What do you want?
Do you know where Bug is? Is he at work right now?
What?
His bug at work today.
Why are you asking me?
He said he would get on, and then he's like, it's been like a few hours now, and he's still not on.
You know he does stuff Monday night, right?
What's he do?
Personal stuff? He's not home. Why are you asking me about this?
He's your best friend or something. I thought you'd know.
Are you gonna stand here or like what? Because I'm streaming right now. I'm doing work.
So, taxes, am I right?
Get out. I keep thinking of fun words, but it's hard to find others to pair with them. That's always the hard part when it comes to naming tracks. It's like trying to find out, like, you have a really good idea for like a word, but you don't know how to use it. I've had that problem in the past before. Okay, but for this track in particular, sorry, I was busy typing stuff out for future stuff, but I love this piece. If you guys don't remember, at the beginning of the year, we did a concept art stream off of this image right here from Paulo Lavarenes, I think is how you pronounce that. This piece of artwork was so good. It just like inspired a whole like song off of it, and I really like in particular this part right here where we jump back in. The vocal, for some reason, just itches something in my ear. Specifically the top line right here. In context, it's just... it's phenomenal, man. And so this piece makes me want to write a full Western style, like, emotional soundtrack. Which we were talking about, I think, on our last music... no, we weren't talking about it on the last music stream. We were talking about it yesterday on our Soulcrafter stream. Which... still really crazy that this one track is inspiring a whole genre worth of music. But I love it. The guitar samples are so good. The Glorious Steel is amazing. Everything just blends together so well. Like, in all honesty, I don't even know like where the right place would be to start mixing this. There's so much like that's like so interwoven with itself. It's kind of hard to move one thing without moving everything else and like try to rearrange it. So I think in that case, the way I'd want to start off with it now is... I think I just sort of want to start from the beginning and see where things line up. So I'll sort of go into work mode a little bit, which means I'm going to get a little quiet, but I am going to be listening very intently to the music, how stuff is mixing, how stuff is sounding compared against itself. Let's try it. I'm gonna boost this up to, you know, like around -1 decibels. Let me just hear this. about that. This one needs to go down a little bit. It's still a little too loud in the mix. That lead guitar needs to get turned down. Yeah, okay, that's feeling a little bit better. I want to listen to this segment again because I was hearing some stuff that really sounded off. Because as we went into the build up. That's still really loud. Try that. I want to hear that now. I think the trumpets need to come down. They are piercing through the mix a little bit too much. Yeah, okay, I'm liking that. I'm vibing with that quite a bit, actually. I thought I'd spend a little bit more time on this one because, to be fair, I haven't like touched it very often outside of like this weekend. Like I think it was Saturday. I think I was working on it. Getting it mixed. I really like this piece. I've loved it since we made it, and I have like I know I've sort of been like dangling it as a carrot over on people who watch the stream because I think I've played it a few times. It might be in my playlists, but I love it. I've been listening to it myself, like in my off time, in cycling it through my own music, and I'm so glad that this song in particular is going to be released because it is a fantastic song, and I really love it, and I really want people to hear it and to see where I can work. I like it a lot. Thank you, Apple. I'm super like I'm so proud of this track in particular and just where it is and where it comes from. Because once again, this is from a concept art challenge stream. We only had 1 hour to make this, and the fact that it came out as good as it did I have not even like added a whole lot to it. I might have like just refined it a little bit in my off time, but this is pretty much the whole track. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's move on to a different track for now. This one is also one. This was also one that we made on stream. But this was also a commissioned piece that I did earlier this year, and I'm sure we will recognize this one as soon as I start playing it. This one might get a specific Bandcamp alternative release, and I'll say why once we load it up, because I'm pretty sure this will look very familiar to those of you who've been around since I think March was when this song was made, as a reference point. But man, I would love to. I'm really considering putting like a special like secret track on Bandcamp. If you buy the album there, you'll get the a variant of this track. We'll see, because I know it's in the file. I just gotta like mix it and master it. Which I'm not gonna mix and master the alternative track today, but I will share what it was if Pro Tools will ever decide to load. Honestly, I gotta switch around my plugins, man. I think there's something about them that they're on the external hard drive versus the SSD. So that's just causing like huge problems these days. Okay, let me make sure that I've got everything in order here. This one needs a name. I haven't come up with a name for this one yet. So we'll see where we land after listening to it. And so far, how many tracks do I have in this album? 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have sifted through 8 tracks that are currently ready for this album. There might be more hiding in the file somewhere. Mainly school stuff. Maybe I should put out some school stuff. I don't know. I don't feel too happy about the school stuff in particular. I did it more just to get the assignment done than to actually like create something. So I don't really have a whole lot on that front. Any channel would be great. Pro Tools, please and thank you. I need more water. I'm yapping. Now that Western song's gonna be stuck in my head again. It got stuck in it last time I made. It got stuck in my head last time I opened it, and now it's back. Let's see. Do I have anything that I can like share right now? Complexity was stuck in my head for days. It's still stuck in my head. Like specifically, anytime like I have like a moment to like just like think, complexity just starts sneaking its way in. And I'm just like, come on, I'm trying to work here. I've actually okay. I sent it to my phone, and from my phone, I posted it into a personal service of mine that I have on my work computer. And so now, like, I have it on my work computer to listen to sometimes at work. I'm like, yeesh. This song's really stuck in my head if I'm listening to it at work. Because, like, usually I try not to let, like, the music stuff and what I do for work collide or, like, overlap. But this song in particular is just causing me so much, like... I'm gonna play it. No, I'm gonna play Complexities now. Where is it? Is this it? No, that's the draft. I want the demo. I kept opening Discord to listen to it. I downloaded it from Discord onto my phone. I'll listen to it on the way into work sometimes, or like when I'm driving by myself. Lord knows I would not play this in the car with someone else.
Walk a path alone, one that I have known. Walking on.
I think it has been like a solid like 2 days, I think, since I've listened to this.
Rushing past desire.
But it's constantly on my mind.
Something's on my mind, and I can't seem to find why the thoughts thoughts don't go away. I hope they're not here to stay. I feel myself start to close and ask myself if I deserve that life. I'm used to complexities. I don't believe in
I will say, I also did run this by some people for feedback, and they really liked it.
Made me change my mind. I don't know how this feels, but I can tell it's real.
We're also gonna let this play all the way through because ads are coming up.
If I'm not alone, you can show me the unknown. Oh, oh, a reflection of the sun. You shine your light where there's none.
There's some stuff that I'm liking about this now that I didn't like before.
Feel a part has been set free.
Or I was on the fence about it before.
Chase a flame. Got burned too much from that game, but when I look into those eyes, something makes me want to try.
Cool, back from the ads.
Feel the chains slowly fade, and then I think that I might deserve this life. I'm used to complexities. I don't believe in destiny. Seeing how you shine.
One of these days we'll go over Book of Mirrors stuff. Since we're going over the soundtrack stuff right now, we'll swap it one day.
Maybe if I'm not alone,
Actually,
you can show me the unknown.
no, I can't do it next week. My bad.
I've kept my heart on hold. Learned that one still burns cold. You can melt away the ice.
I love that line so much.
The road ahead is rough. I fear not enough for you. Maybe give it time. I'm not used to complexities. I don't believe in destiny. But seeing how you shine somehow made me change my mind.
Oh, bye-bye, bot.
I don't know how this feels, but I can tell it's real. Maybe if I'm not alone, you can show me the unknown.
I love that song, man. It's so good. Yeah, I got plans for it. It's coming up. It's in the pipeline, I will say that. But going back to Sound of Games, this is a track we worked on a while ago. This was originally for school, and then I repurposed it for a commission. And I'm pretty happy with how this track turned out. So I'm gonna let you guys take a listen, and then I will share something really stupid about this track. I will say, this track has one of my favorite string parts that I've written. The strings on this track just sound so good. Subtle key change, but it works. Keeps the momentum going. I really like that track. It's got some good energy to it, and I'm like, yes. Honestly, I think for being my most orchestral track to date, like this, really no like traces of synth in this. It's really good. I like the energy that it brings. I don't particularly write in styles like this. I find myself just more stronger in like the atmospheric stuff and like the more tension building and like world building. Tension is not one, or like high energy is not one that I am like the strongest at, but I would like to do more stuff like this. I think this is like a really good example of like my skills in this style of music. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to do a special Bandcamp release of this track in particular. If you were around when we first were creating this song, we had to come up with the prompt, or when we were writing it for school, one of our requirements was it had to have a contemporary percussion. And so I said, what the hell does that even mean? What is quote unquote temporary percussion or contemporary percussion? I was like, okay, let me fart around for a bit, and we ended up throwing beatboxing onto this track. So I'm thinking, just for the shits and giggles, I'm gonna put out the beatboxing version of this track on Bandcamp. Yes, Beatboxing Elliot is back. I still have him saved here. Beatbox Elliot Kid still on here. I think that would be so fucking funny if this went on Bandcamp as like a secret track. It would be worth, in my opinion. Would I put this on streaming platforms? No. Would I still let people listen to it? Absolutely. Buying it 100%. Thank you, Apple. Thank you. Thank you. I love that stupid beatboxing. We were laughing at that for a solid 20 minutes when we originally wrote it, because we were like, this is so stupid. And then we eventually swapped it out for something a little bit more nice sounding, which is some hi-hats that generally sound better. But who cares about the hi-hats? We got Beatboxing Elliot on this track. So I'm willing to like post this on Bandcamp. If you buy the Sounding Games Volume 4 on Bandcamp, this track will be included. I do that with a few albums, but I never mention it. I don't usually mention that stuff for some reason. Like if you buy I need to take a look again very quickly, but I believe it's if you buy Without You, the single edition in particular, there is a secret track from there as well. Maybe it's not secret. Okay, it's not really secret, but I don't want to do this right now. Can I get this off my screen though? Apparently not. I guess that's gonna stay there. Anyway. So yeah, if you look at Without You, we have the acoustic version and the main version, which were the original two that were on streaming platforms. They have been taken down. This is the only place where you can get them. But in addition to that, I also have this third track here, which I wrote for a class learning Ableton in particular. So my first time using Ableton, I wrote this.
I've been a slave to my own thoughts. I've been a slave to my own dreams. It's the loneliness. I feel love start to die.
I really like the instrumentation on this one, which is why I put it up on Bandcamp. But will not post it anywhere else, because it's just a rematch of the same stuff. And I believe... Let me take a look again at my tracks, because if I remember correctly, there's another one that has a secret. Is it you? Yes. Okay, so Without You, or not Without You, Worlds Beyond Our Own is another one with a secret track on it, which is not so secret now, but originally when it went out, it came with the 6 tracks that we all know from the soundtrack, but it also came with a 7th one called The Last Dragon, which The Last Dragon, I believe, is included in the Sound of Games volume. Is it 1 or 2? I have to remember. Let me look this up just so I'm not like forgetting. I think it's 1. Yes. Okay, it is. It's the final track on the Sound of Games Volume 1, called The First Dragons. Fun fact, The Last Dragon was a commissioned piece for a VTuber debut that one of my friends did. That track was the original inspiration for this whole album, and I forgot to put it in. So the silly part is because that track sounds very similar to Worlds Beyond Our Own. So if you listen to it on the Sound of Games Volume 1, you'll wonder, why on earth does it sound like it belongs to Worlds Beyond Our Own? That's because it does, and I just forgot to put it in. It also wasn't connected to the story in any way, which is why it's sort of as a bonus track now. And I don't think you see this on like the purchaser's end. You only see it once you buy it, and you're like, oh, hey, another track here. That's cool. And I've been going through my music. I've been sort of trying to be better at stuff like that. First off. Oh, okay. I was questioning why this is here. Forgetting that Deep Space is right here. But yeah, I've been going through my music. I've been sort of like condensing everything down. There were some singles here. Yeah, all this stuff has been privated. If you own it, you have it. But you will not be able to purchase it anymore because all of these tracks are in another release in here. And I decided, okay, we're not going to do any more singles like this, where I wasn't really sure what I was doing. Now, because I think Magic of the Forest was the last one to go up. That was, what, 2022, I think? Yeah, 2022 was when I made Magic of the Forest. And I think after that, I'm like, okay, no more singles on Bandcamp, because that just gets messy. People buy that stuff, and then they have it, but they have to rebuy it. It's a lot of nuances for that stuff, and I'm like, okay, the only way the singles are going to go out is if they go out to all streaming platforms plus Bandcamp. Like, it's not fair that Bandcamp has to get, like, several releases for the same stuff. That's just not... That's not fair. All that for a nice sidetrack. I forgot we were supposed to be mixing music today. My brain, I'm sort of scatterbrained at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff going on inside, like, my head and on the backside of things, and I'm just like, whew, I'm trying to stay afloat. I'm trying to do what I'm here to do. Anyway. What on earth? Apple, you did not. Apple. Thank you so much, Apple. I just saw the notif on my phone. Thank you so much for purchasing Worlds Beyond Our Own. But yeah, so we do need to mix this, and I gotta sort of hear where everything is. I didn't think it would send a notif right away. It does. So I have, for every streaming service app that I use, I have a back end side for artists. So I immediately got the notif from the Bandcamp artist page. Like, hey, someone bought your soundtrack. And then I got the email following up with a little bit more information. But seriously, thank you so much, Apple, for being a huge supporter in what I do. It really means a lot to me. I think this one needs to come down just a tiny bit. Those are kind of getting lost in the mix. Let's try and bring those up. Turn on that compressor a little bit. Oh my goodness, please just work for me. Okay, now let's sort of piecing through the mix a little better. You can hear when it's missing, which is... It's a good thing when you can hear when a part's missing, because that means that it actually has a purpose. Nice. I'm liking that a little bit better, but I still want to mix this more in. Because where does it start? Try that now. Yeah, that's quite a jump. Let's hear that in context. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better now. I think it needs to come back down here. So right around there, I think is where it can go. Yeah. Yeah. I'm liking that. Because as long as we can still hear it in the mix. It's kind of a valuable part of the track in order to keep things moving. Because it pairs well with, pairs well with the hi-hats here. Because without them, it's just very standard. Having that rhythm is very important to this track and keeping it moving, keeping it feeling punchy and pulsy. Yeah, okay, I'm vibing with that. I am vibing with that a lot. I think we're pretty good here on this track too. I think what I'll do is I will put them at like 80%. Each of these tracks we're trying to get up to 80%. I will come back to them in about 2 weeks or so. Make sure that they are, well, maybe not 2 weeks. We're running a bit short on time. Maybe like a week. Well, okay, maybe I'm forced to do 2 weeks, but it won't be on stream. So like, I don't know. Not this upcoming weekend, but the next one. Because this upcoming weekend I'm working. I'm just full on working. The weekend of Thanksgiving, I think, is my next like free weekend. I might take the time to like just finish this up, get it ready. Because we got just over a month. December 19th is when this album is dropping. I need to share that more. December 19th is when this album is dropping on all streaming platforms, which means I got to get this ready. I might have put it off a bit too long because I was still sort of expecting they would go up on, I believe it was what, the 26th? Yeah, the 26th. But then I was like, not even like a couple days ago, I was like, wait, hang on, I don't like the fact that's going up on Christmas night. I'm gonna just put it up a week beforehand. So I jumped it on the calendar, and now I'm sort of paying the price for that. We should be good though. Hypothetically, we should be good to make that date. Okay, so that one needs a title. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sit on that for a second. I'm actually gonna go ahead and sit on a lot of these titles for a second. but it is open if anyone wants to name it. Let me go ahead and pull up the next one, because the next one is another interesting one. This was another commission piece that we did this year. I am pretty excited about this one, because I haven't written something like this in a hot second. It is an ominous, darker style piece. And I cannot remember for the life of me what exactly it sounds like. I have vague ideas. I remember vaguely what it's supposed to sound like, but I have not opened this since I finished the commission. So we will both be listening to this for the first time in a while. So I'm going to go hit play, and we're just going to listen to this. Okay. I remember now. It's coming back. We're using a lot of the old techniques that I learned from the Subnautica Below Zero soundtrack in this. Which, I guess, sort of is how this piece was inspired. Still really good. I like this one. I love the soft ending on it too. I feel like I don't do stuff like this too often, but when I do, it kind of leaves like a weird aftershock of like, whoa, what is that? So this one also needs a name. I'm thinking of calling it something like In the Vault, or like vaults where no one can, I don't know, something with vault in it. The Horizons of Unknowns, Unrevealed Secrets, Hidden Mysteries, Stories Untold. Unrevealed Secrets is kind of interesting. I'm liking where your head's at, Apple. Those are some pretty good name suggestions. The Horizons of Unknowns. Maybe there's something there in that. I don't know if it's happening. Why is my mother asking if I have work tomorrow? I do, yes. Okay. Honestly, just typing whatever comes to mind. It's a good way of thought bubbling it. Yeah. I'm gonna think about it too while I work on this a little bit. One thing that I think this track desperately needs to get rid of is reverb. the reverb in this track makes it so muddy. It's kind of hard to hear certain parts. And I think it's very visible right here. Whatever's happening here needs to be turned down. One thing that I do remember liking is this trade-off right here. Between these two in particular. I remember liking that a lot when I was writing this. And I remember sending this to the person who asked for the commission. He's like, dude, that's great. And I remember going back and forth on this track in particular. The Vault of Unrevealed Secrets, Vault of Untold Stories. More random meshing together. For some reason, Vault is really sticking with me here. This feels like it's like a mysterious, like ominous vault that you don't want to open, but you're lured by something inside. Vault definitely fits this. Yeah. I forget what this is. Let me take a listen to this. I remember one of the notes I was given back for the draft of this is more vocals. More vocals. We want to lean heavily into that. And I just looked at him and I said, I got you. I got you on the vocals. So I wrote a whole section. Wrote a whole vocal section here. Right here as well. What are you? I don't remember what you are. Oh, you're also a vocal. Hang on. See, we got like 4 vocal tracks in here. Yeah, I remember just thinking about this track and where it fits and everything. And for some reason, when I was like writing this track, I was like, okay, something makes me want to really go back to my roots, like thinking about Subnautica and like the general atmosphere of that. So I ended up writing this whole track in probably around 3 days because I was that determined to finish it. And I really like how it came out in terms of layering, general like energy throughout the track. It's great. So now I just sort of want to go through and I want to make sure that everything sounds good. I want to make sure that our reverbs are in line, because I feel like that's sort of where a lot of this stuff tends to muddy itself. Is we have too much reverb, it's kind of a little harder to hear. Noises or notes become more of just general noise, and it's just overall unpleasant. So that's the idea that I'm sort of going for here. Let me go ahead and listen to this one more time, just to get an idea for it. Yeah, that's a lot better. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't feel as spacious anymore, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. I kind of like it the way it is right now. I feel like it needs a few more delays on it. Yo, Apple, thank you so much for redeeming the Daily Sand. You got 2 grains in your hourglass. I think here's a place where we need the Reaver Bond. Well, hang on. Is it actually going to help is the question. I think in a way it does, because it helps carry out those tones a little better. Yeah, okay, I'll keep it on. Let's go and let's take the bypass, add it here. Basically, it's going to stay in a constant state of off until this point. And we're going to turn it... Oh, hang on. There we go, okay. So it's off now. And then now it's on. Sweet, we got it. We got it working. Nice. I'm really happy with this track as well. I feel like for this track in particular, it's at somewhere close to like a 60 or 70. Let's bring that down just a little bit. I haven't used that trick in so long. Yeah, okay, I'm liking how that's sounding a little bit better. And because now this has less of a tail, I'm going to turn it up slightly. I'm going to bring it just ever so slightly more into the mix. Let's hear that now with the new mix, because I boosted it up because we had so much mud that we were trying to overcome. So now that we've sort of cleared that out, let's listen to how this sounds just at regular volume. Nice. And there's something a little bit better now. We're not trying to compete to be the loudest anymore. This, I feel, might be a little too loud. Just for generally where we are in the... Because it sort of quiets down, and then you just sort of have these choir voices come at you like that. Let's do that again. I want to bring them in a little softer. Oh yeah, there we go. That's it. Nice. Okay. I feel like this is at a good 80% now. How many more tracks do we have left? Oof, we are only halfway through. I don't think we're gonna be able to cover every song tonight. We might go ahead and do a couple more. I'm thinking maybe like 2 more at the very most. Because I still got stuff that I need to do, and in all honesty, I'm not feeling that energized today. Okay, so this is, I believe, the most recent piece that I ended the commission piece that I finished. This one's called An Old Friend, and I'm pretty excited to share it off, because I remember liking the way it came out. I don't remember giving you those pictures. Where'd you get that? Welcome on in, Buck. How you doing? You know what? That checks out. At this point, I should not even be surprised. Let's go and let's phrase that track so we don't need to worry about it in the future. Besides that, I think it's only a minute long. I honestly don't know if I should include this or not, but I do like the general feel of it. There's a chance, and I say a chance, there's a chance that we might expand on it. But it's all about time and how much I have of it, because right now I'm running on so little time. Let's just pick it from where we left off. I like it. I think this is pretty well mixed because I mean I had submitted for something. Um and yeah, just generally I really like the sound of it. There's I don't know. It might go up like this. I will not lie, it might go up just as a minute and like 3 second long track. Because I don't really know if I have the time to work on it. At this point, I'm just a little too busy with some other stuff at the moment. I can't just be sitting down and like working on new stuff like this late into the game. By now, all the tracks should be locked in and they should be like already 80% mixed, which is what we're trying to get to tonight. This, I would say, is already there. We have it pretty much in a good spot. I think that I might need to like tweak the bass, or like something like that. Yo, Random, thank you so much for redeeming the daily sand. You know, 2 grains of sand in your hourglass. Yay, 2 seconds. I know, right? It's great. The more sand you keep putting in, the longer that timer goes up. How are you doing, Random? How's your day been? I think as of right now, everything sounds okay. I don't really know what I'm looking for a mix like this. I think this could probably go down, though. Yeah, something like that. Just woke up, fell asleep around 5 p.m. after classes. You know what? That's fair. Some days we just need a day every once in a while where we just wake up around 5 p.m. Or I guess you fell asleep at 5 p.m. and then just woke up. Yeah, some days we just need that. Yeah, okay, I'm liking the piano in the mix a bit more. I don't think I can really move this too much. Yeah, okay, I think that's in a pretty good place. But woo, 7 hours of sleep. Might just go lay down, but coughing. Oh, are you feeling sick too, Random? I think there's been a sickness that's been just going around. Unfortunate, and I really hope I don't get sick, because I got some stuff coming up that I really want to go to. And I'm not going to say exactly what it is. Okay, well, I can say one of them since I said it live. One of the things I'm going to is the Streamer Awards. That's on December 6th. And I'm going with the lovely Strawberry Moon. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun night for us. As well as I've got deadlines I'm trying to hit, and I just cannot take a single sick day off until probably next April. I hate to say it, but we don't take sick days here. We don't take weekends. I work every day of the week, and I love it. Yeah, okay, so I think this track is pretty well mixed already, or at least, I'm not going to say well mixed, it's okay mixed. I don't think there's... The more I play the song, the more I'm like, the more I debate on if I actually want this in the Sound of Games. Because originally it was composed as an outro for a YouTube series. And I'm not going to say what it is just yet, but I need to confirm on if it's actually been implemented into the series yet. But yeah, no, this song in particular, I will need to look back at, and I will need to figure out if I actually want to keep it. That I'm gonna temporarily shelf that. The next one that I want to go to is one that I haven't touched in a hot second, but definitely want to see about including in this album. Is Medusa. Where's Medusa? It's an M track, isn't it? Yes, it is. There it is, Medusa. Go ahead and save changes. I don't remember what's in this track, so we might be waiting here for a while. What? Oh, yeah, no, Naval Video Engine. That would be great. Sore throat and temperature took a drop over my area. Didn't notice until I went out for the bus without a jacket. Oof. Yikes. Sorry to hear that, Random. That does not sound very fun. I will say this. I walked out I walked out of work earlier today, and it looked straight out of Silent Hill. The fog was so thick, and I was like, where did this come from? It was like decently warm earlier this day. It was 23 degrees. Is that in Fahrenheit or Celsius? 'Cause that'll determine how I respond to that number. 23 Celsius is decently warm. Fahrenheit? Oh yeah, huh? It is starting to get a little cold in some places. I heard it's supposed to start snowing in certain places. If not today, then like tomorrow. And I'm like, that's cool. I've never seen snow in my life. Weather's supposed to be getting cold, but it's getting hotter for me. I was looking at the weather app. It was supposed to be getting warmer, and then for some reason, out of nowhere, I looked at the weather app again earlier today, and it just took a giant left. And I was like, oh, there's rain now. Ain't that cool? It's snowing up in Chicago on Sunday, I think. I think so, yeah. I think I remember hearing someone talk about that. This is a very interesting project that I want to sort of share. So, I compose for multiple mediums, but one that I've never composed for is a roller coaster. As much as I want to, that has not been on my docket until about a few months ago. And I gotta say, this has been one of my favorite, like, really weird side projects that I've done, where I compose for a whole fucking roller coaster. So, I'm just gonna let this play, because holy crap, it is so interesting. So this coaster's called Medusa. It is by my friend, the Jagger KK. He's been working on a park for, I want to say, a couple years. And this is what I composed for his park. Just on a whim, mind you. He didn't ask for it. And we got the visuals right here. It's gonna rain here too. Yeah, honestly, it's raining everywhere, snowing everywhere. I'm still really proud of this track now that I'm listening to it again. It's getting warmer over the next few days, supposedly, with rain later in the week. Yeah, no, that's pretty much what it's like here. I got really scared for a second, because someone mentioned rain to me, and I was like, wait, hang on, I've got plans on Saturday. Please tell me they're not going to be rained out. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it. Rain's only supposed to be at like 12 a.m. for me. And so I'm like, that was a close call. But yeah, so I want to talk about this project because it's really cool. There was a lot of planning that went into the making of this coaster. We can just take a look at the absolute timeline that I made. I marked down like anything that like was remotely interesting that we could like do a music cue to. That's so cool. Holy hell. Yeah, no, it's awesome. So I think my favorite part has to be probably the outdoor garden segment right here. The way it just slows down temporarily while the train like just sort of weaves its way around and then dives you back into the action. Followed by this insane like double heartline roll with the strings. I think matching the strings up to that was so cool. I am really proud of how those strings ended up because it's just, where is it? It's right here. This, like, for some reason, random riff that I really enjoy. But yeah, am really proud of this project, and I really want to like push it out because it's cool. I think I'll be saving these whenever they're released. December 19th. That is the official date that these tracks that we are working on tonight get released. They are going to be part of an album called The Sound of Games, which is basically just me composing a bunch of stuff over the years, or over the previous year, and just tidying everything up and putting it out into like a final album with a nice little bow on top. But yeah, I'm a big fan of, what is it? Is it you? This is a really cool sound. I don't even remember where I grabbed it from. Same with, I believe, you? No, is it you? What is it? There's a bass running through. Is it you? I think this might be the bass I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, no, that bass goes pretty hard. It releases my last day of class before the new year. Let's go. Yeah, the Sound of Games in particular gets released every at the end of every year. Depending on when Christmas and New Year's falls, that'll determine like what week it is. Because this week it was going to fall on either January 1st or Christmas, I was like, no, we need to push it back to like the 19th. It needs to be earlier. I'm not going to try and compete with the holidays like that. But I am really happy with how this track turned out. This, it's like a pan or some sort of like bell. It's got some effects on it that's just I cannot explain, but it's cool. You can sort of hear it like warping the sample a little. It reminds me of a rain drum. It kind of is. Yeah, I think it's inspired by a rain drum a little. What's this? I gotta remind myself. So this is the beginning of it. I think this track is pretty well mixed already. I think it might be really well mixed. Timeline divert? Alright, no worries. We'll keep working on this when we get back. But for now, we'll just take a listen. One thing that I want to change is this segment right here as we accelerate. Something's got to... Do I want to line it up right here? Whoa, hang on. Why are we in slip mode? Put me in grid mode. Line it up with a second beat? Maybe... Was that lined up to something? Hang on. I need to see if that was lined up to something visually. I think it might have been. Accelerate. Let's go from there. Someone never get ads. Do you have like an ad blocker on? Because I know sometimes it might do that. Okay, wait. If I move it back one, let's take a look. I kind of like it on the second beat. I don't? That's really weird. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Apple, you're subbed. That's why. Wait, subs don't get ads? Yeah, wait, that's the whole point of getting... That's the whole point of subbing, Apple. That's odd, subs don't Subs don't, but mods do. Yeah, no, that is kind of annoying. It is really like really annoying that mods have to get ads, but like subs don't. It's like at that point, like, what's the point? How long is the track again? I actually haven't taken a look at what the length is of it. We end at a minute 48. Do we start at? We start at 22 seconds, so it's like a minute 22, almost 90 seconds. Honestly, it's a pretty good 90 seconds, if I do say so myself. I really cannot think of anything that I want to change about this track. It sounds really good as is. I remember I didn't like the harp in this. Okay, this is like really subtle, but I love this instrument. It's so like ingrained into the mix. I forgot it was there, but it is so good. It adds just another element to it. I don't even know how to describe it. There is so much of this like track that I am incredibly happy with, because there's a lot of stuff that like happens in the background that you would not notice or like would not even like take into consideration the fact that it's there. But holy crap, it is so incredible. It's just the fact that like we were able to do this and like we were able to match everything perfectly to like what happens on a roller coaster. Greatest project by far. But there is so much that went into it, like compositionally and like soundbite wise. It is such a good track. Holy crap. Why am I getting Okay. I'm getting noticed for some stuff on Twitch that I don't really want to get noticed for. Okay. How many more tracks do we have left? We have 2 more tracks. I think I will just go ahead and share them off, but I don't think I will work on them. Where is it? What? Here it is. Okay. So this is a track that we worked on very recently, actually. This is more of a recent one, but it is still going in the Sounding Games Volume 4. We worked on a bit of a wasteland theme, and it has inspired a whole new project off of it. But I don't think this track will be going in as is. Or this track will be going into the Wasteland album as is. This is a really good track. I like it as it stands, and I kind of want to keep it that way. So we're gonna sort of freeze it in time in the Sounding Games Volume 4. I think this is also one of the very few tracks that I wrote in 5/4 time, if not like one of 3 at most. I do really like this track though. It's very inspiring for writing a whole like genre in this style. I like that like metallic-y sound. It's really cool. Something about it. I like this piece. I think there's still a little bit of mixing that needs to get done, but that's gonna be something I do off camera, because I think I want to get all this stuff submitted by the 22nd. I want to say, is that the date? Yeah, by the 22nd is when I want to get this stuff submitted, because then I have what, 1, 2, 3, about 4 weeks until it's due, which is right around the due time. So I gotta get everything in line for that. I got one more track that I currently have for the album. Let me find it very quickly. What is it? Okay, that track. Yeah. Let me find it, because there were... What was it? This is... Okay. Don't save. We didn't do anything on it. We just shared it. This is one that I really liked, but it felt like it was lacking something. It's meant to be background music. It's meant to be video game, like you're in a lobby and this is what plays in the background. Not meant to grab your... It's not meant to grab your attention, which is why it's on the smaller side, but I still really like the idea that was in it. And what I love is that this became a motif. The motif of this project. And actually, I might add more of the soundtrack that this was from into this. I just need to get more... I just need to get permission from the project person. But I would love to put, like, all these tracks. 'Cause I think I wrote four tracks for this particular project. But this little melody became the motif of the whole thing. And I'm really happy that that became the motif. I wasn't even considering any motifs for this until this came up, and I was like, oh, I really like this. And I talked to the person I was working with. They said, I also really like this. Can you fit this into the other tracks? I was like, okay, they're not really built for that, but sure. Not to mention it loops really well, so I might just like double it up. Yeah, if I double it up, it's like a perfect like 3-minute song. But yeah, so that's everything that I currently have for the Sound of Games Volume 4. It's been a long year, I will say that. We've been working on so many different projects simultaneously. We've been working on Deep Space, which released this year. That took an absolutely incredible amount of time. We've been working on Broken Mirrors 2 and Broken Mirrors 3 subsequently together. Those two are some massive projects. Deep Space was its own massive project. Not to mention, we have another project starting up called Project Wasteland that will also take a considerable amount of time. It might take upwards of 2 to 3 years to finish that one up, if we go at the same pace that Deep Space was. And man, we are keeping ourselves busy. Holy crap. On top of that, I work a full-time job. On top of that, I also do commissions. So the fact that we have stuff like this that I write for people who want music, it's insane. If you saw my schedule, if you saw my calendar, you would not believe that I am alive. I'm going to say that right now. And it's insane that I am able to do the things I do, considering both the fact that I'm just incredibly grateful for the people that, one, listen to the music, B, hire me. I, like, those are really important to me, and I'm incredibly thankful for anyone who does. But I also run on like 2 hours of sleep a night at this point. And I really need to work on that. So I think actually on that note, I might hop off here in order to get some sleep before tomorrow. Yeah, who do I want to send you guys over to today? I think I'm going to send you guys over to Matt Guyver, who is live doing Art Talk, just as an extension of what we're doing here. This week, I have submitted Complexities. So if you guys want to hear what people think of Complexities, I highly recommend go checking that out. Yeah, all right. So our schedule for this week is Wednesday and Thursday will be another gaming stream. Most likely Lunchbox, followed by I don't even want to say Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate makes me want to punch the air. Saturday or Sunday, we should be getting a Light Channel video. I had to pass that video off to Buster to edit because I have been so incredibly busy. I have not even been able to record Red Dead. So, yeah, we're doing that. And then next week, unfortunately, there will be no streams. I am working overtime. I'm going to be working 11 hours a day, coming home, doing this stuff again. And just generally, I need time to work. So unfortunately, we're going to take a little time off for that. But the following week, the week of Thanksgiving, we'll be back. I will figure out the schedule for that then. But just keep eyes peeled. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's live stream. It was a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for you guys to hear this album. Go say hi to Mac. Go show the same love that you have for me. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. But unfortunately, I got to out. So I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.